Hi guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be discussing about the Anup Engineering Q3 result and con call. Okay. So first thing first, let's just directly delve into the result. You will see that the result, if you have to check on a year-on-year basis, you will see that the company has grown by 12%. And if you see on a QOQ basis, you will see that the revenue has degrown or it has been down by 9%. Right now, the first thing that might hit you, okay, like how is that a company that was growing at 40%, its sales and targeting a revenue and giving a guidance of 22 to 25%? Has there been something wrong with the company? Even in terms of QOQ, if you look, you know that H2 is always better than H1, right? Yeah, H2 is always better compared to H1, right, for these kind of companies. So you might wonder, okay, like even QOQ का degrowth हुआ है, so what is wrong? So first of all, if you look at their order, what has happened was there was one free material order that is a free issuer material order. Because of that, there was a 12 crore ka impact on the top line. Now, if it weren't for this, you would have seen them clock the 22 to 25% ka revenue, the target that they had given. Now, what is this free issuer material? Usually what happens is, if you have to do a heat exchanger or any product that these people do, they source the raw materials, they do the end-to-end work of it, right, from raw materials, execution and everything, and delivering a product. Now one of the clients that was there, what they told is like, they gave them the material, the raw material they had given, but these people did only the execution part of it. They only completed the entire heat exchanger or whatever the product they did. Because of that, there was this 12 crore ka impact as a result because of this free issuer ka material. Now if it weren't for that, the revenue would have been around 140 crores instead of 128 crores, and it would have been that 22 to 25% growth they would have cracked. And also you would have seen some changes on a QOQ basis too. Now, so that is on part of why the sales has been muted, you could tell, or looked muted on a year-on-year basis. If you look at PAT also has been exceptional. Even this time you will see PAT grew by 45% on a year-on-year basis. Of course, QOQ it was also down 9%, right? PAT margin has improved from 11 to 15.6%, I believe 15.6. So even there also, all in all, great. So if you look at the numbers and structurally, as of now at least, there is nothing wrong with the company. Now another interesting thing that has happened is, we've seen at least until H1, that was until Q2, we saw that a majority part of the revenue was coming from heat exchanger, right? Around 70 to 76% was coming from heat exchangers. Now as we move forward and their Kheda plant is commissioned, we're also seeing that there has been a change in product mix. Now we are seeing hardly 51% coming from heat exchangers, and then reactors and vessels jo tha, that is around 30%, and then the other products, whether it could be pipings and spools and other things, they are contributing 15%. So one good thing here is, because of the commission of Kheda plant, we are seeing the dependence on the heat exchangers is coming down, right? Now other than that, we are seeing again, company has been backing up with the guidance, at least in terms of export. You will see that earlier export used to be 15%, right? Even until H1 end it was 15%, and they told they had a guidance given by this year end, that is by FY24 ka end, they want to clock the export ka revenue jo aa raha hai, it should be around 30%. Okay, so now as of Q3, they've already done the target of way before. As of Q3, 30% of the revenue is coming from export. Now I'll just give you the details on order book. Okay, अगर आप new order book देखते हो, only Q3 का new order book, it is 372 crores. Now this is not of a surprise, because आपने Q2 का con call पढ़ा होगा. Then you will see in Q2 only the management told, because जब Q2 का con call हो रहा था, it was probably in the month of October or November, right? And already we had been past 1 month into Q3, and the management had already told कि like भाई हमारा तो Q3 का like October का order ही 260 crore था in that 1 month. So that Q3 का new order book being 372 crore is not really a shock. If you look at the total order book, it is around 662 crores, and इसमें आधा is from export. इस 662 crore में अगर आप देखते हो, 57% of this total order book, 57% of this total book is export. अगर आप total order book का करते हैं, like and you see how much pending is there as of Q3 is around 814 crores, and out of this 814 crores जो अभी तक का total order book है, out of this 675 crores will be executed by FY25, that is in the next year it will be executed. ठीक है, अगर आप उनका खेदा plant का देखते हो, खेदा plant itself also has got around 150 crore का order book, and recently they dispatched another vessel from there also, so weighing around 200 metric ton, right? The only thing the company has been telling is कि like going forward from now, don't expect that huge revenue change. I believe once upon a time, if you had looked in last year, some quarters, I would say, I think Q1 of last year or Q4 in that range, you will see that the revenue growth was around 140%, 150%. Even last year का Q4 में अगर आप देखते हो, then the revenue growth has been around 40%. So although for them, Q4 is a very strong quarter, they end the March ka month with a bang, right? Don't expect that kind of 40%, 50% ka growth. Don't expect, although March will always be a banger, you can't expect that kind of huge change in revenue. One is because the company has been, there has been a lot of fluctuations earlier when it comes to Anup Engineering with QOQ metric, right? You will see that, एक quarter अच्छा करेगा, दूसरा quarter बुरा करेगा. So there was a lot of fluctuations in earnings. And what the management has worked in the last 1 year is delivering constantly on a QOQ basis, like reducing the fluctuation in earnings in QOQ and trying to deliver it. Because of that, they were able to continuously deliver the 22%, 25% ka growth and all of that. So because they've been doing it every quarter, they have done their work in such a way that execution happens every quarter. So because of that, don't expect all of a sudden 40-50% ka growth. And also that time base was also lower. Now the base is increasing as we talk. That is the second reason I wanted to point it out, right? So totally, as you talk about it, now they have I told you, right, 814 crore ka order book tha. But totally, if you have to talk, I mean, just talking with the negotiations and everything, it is 900 crore, and most of this 900 crore will get materialized by March, which means it will get completed, like get the order finalized by March. Okay, so now the only how do I tell, the only danger or the only risk in the sense remains in terms of Red Sea crisis. We all know जो भी export का company है, they are everybody facing with the Red Sea का crisis, right? Like because of the Israel-Hamas war, the entire route has either been blocked, or the shipping or the transit is taking way longer time. Freight cost has increased also. So here they don't have any issues in terms of Red Sea crisis, in terms of delivering their product because of Red Sea crisis. The other thing is उनका जो raw material जो है, only there could be some impact, but as of now, until the few months or until the few quarters, whatever the time that is needed, whatever the projects are there in hand, for that whatever the raw material is needed, they have in hand. Again highlighting one point which I forgot to add is when you talk about any deliveries that they're doing, and we are also seeing, right, export ka book is increasing also, 15 to 30% aa gaya abhi. So we can't deny कि like export का फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So what has happened here is most deliveries that are there, they are in terms of FOB contract. Now what is FOB contract? Okay, FOB matlab agar let's say you're a seller and somebody else is a buyer, right? So once the seller gives his goods to the port, right? Once he sends it on the ship to be transported, to be shipped, what happens? He can clock in the sale at that time. After that, jab wo ship se, whenever it is in the time to transit and reaches the port of the buyer if there is any in terms of discrepancy in terms of earning, or there is not earning, that's not the right word, but probably the transit fees could have been higher once it reaches a port or whatsoever, there has been any damage in goods, then the buyer will take responsibility, not the seller. So since most of the deliveries are on FOB contract, so it is a good thing for them, right? So कल जाके अगर उन्होंने कुछ शिप किया और रेड सी का क्राइसिस के वजह से शिपिंग का कॉस्ट ज़्यादा हुआ, then the buyer will take care of it, not them. And also since they've already in the FOB contract, they can clock it in here as sales. So good thing. Other than that, अगर आप ये गाइडेंस का बात करोगे, गाइडेंस कंपनी स्टिकिंग आउट विद द सेफ गाइडेंस ओनली कि लाइक हम लोग 22 to 25% का ग्रोथ टारगेट कर रहे हैं, एंड वी आर टारगेटिंग अराउंड 25 to 30% का ग्रोथ टारगेट कर रहे हैं, एंड वी आर मेंटेनिंग अ मार्जिन ऑफ 22%. दैट इज व्हाट दे टारगेटिंग. और एक्सपोर्ट बुक जो है, दे आर टारगेटिंग द एक्सपोर्ट बुक इन द नेक्स्ट ईयर, दैट इज इन FY25, फॉर इट टू बी 40%. राइट नाउ द एक्सपोर्ट बुक इज 30%. दे वांट टू इंक्रीज इट बाय another leg, बिकॉज इवन दे अंडरस्टैंड कि अगर आप see their entire business is cyclical. जब तक ये इंडिया का we have that growth story, we have this, they are also dependent on other industries to do well for them. So minute that where the India का cyclicality जो है, wherever the cycles that they are and industries that they are catering to, अगर वो cycle घूम जाता है, then it can backfire on them. So this is why they are trying to enter into export as much as possible and try to diversify their geographies. So कल अगर जाकर भी cycle घूम गया, so they can at least do well here. So that is another thing. Last thing, yeah, so in terms of guidance, I told you in terms of export, the only thing is like उनका जो technology that they use, right, they're searching for a lot of licenses, because in the last con call also they told they want to get into higher heat exchangers जिसमें thickness ज़्यादा होता है, and it is very it is very how do I put this, उनका high power, high heat exchangers, this is what they were targeting. And for this they require some licenses, right, for to use that kind of technology. So they're in talks with certain companies, so that they can use the technology. So other than that, great, nothing as of now, as of Q3 ka update. If you look, there has been nothing structurally wrong with the company. Fundamentals are great, they're also executing what they have been telling. Again, guidance continues to be remain strong with 25 to 30% ka growth and 22% ka margin. We'll need to wait and watch in Q4 ki, like, if there has been any impact, having said that, from the export, right? So that's that on Anup, and see you next time. Bye.